Hello, we're at the 27th session of the Congress of Local and Regional Authorities here at the Council of Europe. I'm Charles Amponsa. The Council of Europe has launched an ambitious programme to support Ukraine. The Congress has been involved in a number of activities ranging from political meetings at the highest level right through to observing local elections and onto seminars for the newly elected mayors and also for local young leaders. I'm joined in the media box by Mairi EVANS and Liisa ANSALA. Liisa, let's turn to you first then. In your opinion, what action should the Congress be undertaking now further to further democracy in Ukraine?
I think it's a really important question, and in my opinion the Congress is already doing a good work with monitoring the elections in Ukraine, and there are big local elections coming on, so we already have to prepare for the becoming activities. Also, post-monitoring is one of the main things that we really need to emphasize. And from our experiences, we have visited Ukraine. Mairi has been there already twice. There is a big problem with corruption, and in my opinion the Council of Europe and the Congress should try to make something, give tools to anti-corruption work in Ukraine, because in my opinion if we want to develop a good political culture, we also need to prevent corruption.
So tackling corruption then, Mairi EVANS, what do you think would be something else that the Congress could help to tackle in Ukraine?
Well, I would agree with what Liisa has already said, and I think that the approach that the Council of Europe has taken has been the right one, because it's something that needs to be tackled from both ends. I don't think you can just work with like the seminars that we've had with the young local leaders from the bottom up. It also needs to be from the top down, because with the best will in the world we could go along to these seminars and everybody there is so keen to change the system and to fight that corruption, but how do you do that, and how do they do that when they leave the sessions? And I think it's so important that we follow up and we help to support the young members that we've been involved with and actually help establish and facilitate those connections to allow them to try and fight what they're experiencing and to try and make those changes in their local communities. And like I say, and we need to have that general feeling from the young local leaders themselves, but we also need to have that change coming from the top, because they won't have all the tools that they need to enable that to happen right away.
When you say the top?
Just the highest echelons of government, yeah, it needs to be from the top down. There needs to be a real will for change, and we've seen that in the workshops we've taken part in. There is that huge desire for change, and I think it's really important that the Council of Europe facilitates that connection making and really helps support the young members in what they're trying to do. And I think that follow-up role and that supporting is a key role for the Council of Europe now.
Now, Liisa, we've got elections coming up very shortly, parliamentary elections coming up in Ukraine. What do you think can happen there in terms of voter participation, although the levels are quite high, young people attending? What's predicted for Ukraine in the near future?
Actually, we can see it already now that there is a change of political culture. There are new decision makers coming to the politics, and I really hope, I sincerely hope, that there will be a lot of young people participating in the elections and being elected to the parliament and at the local level. I hope that the Council of Europe will give support to the government of Ukraine and to Poroshenko to renew the political culture. We know that Poroshenko has plans for distributing the decision-making power to the local level and in enhancing the local democracy. And that is something that we in the Congress and in the Council of Europe and at the local level, we need to emphasize that this reform has to happen.
Mairi, we've heard from other councillors here at the Congress of Local and Regional Authorities that there are problems in trying to reach out to people, particularly in the east of Ukraine, in Slavyansk and in other parts of the troubled region there. What more can be done by the Congress to reach out there, particularly because Kiev and the western part of Ukraine seems to be pretty much on track?
Yes, and that's where we were most recently, just north of Kiev. I think it's a case of looking at the Congress members that we have within these areas and trying to develop relationships with them, see what connections they have, to see if we can perhaps facilitate similar sessions and discussions to what we're having at the moment. And I think that that's the most important thing, to keep that conversation going and really just to reach out as far as we can and to try and get those regions more involved.
And what else can be done physically in the very near future?
That is a difficult question, because we first have to tackle with the crisis. There is actually a war going on in the eastern Ukraine. Yes, so that is something that unfortunately the Congress or the Council of Europe cannot tackle. We can't fight war, but I hope that after the situation calms down, then we will have the power to come and develop the democracy locally. Yeah.
Okay, thank you both very much indeed for coming in. That's Mairi Evans and Liisa ANSALA from the Congress. Hope it's been interesting. Join us again soon. Until then, goodbye.